Hey, I'm Steph.
And I'm Alex.
And we want to welcome you to our podcast,
The Film Bros.
A podcast where we discuss the movies we love without any judgment or film snobbery. It's a twice-a-week escape where we reflect, we review, and we raffle.
We do raffle, don't we?
Yes.
No fear. Just like Tom fucking Cruise.
I love it. I love Benicio. I love him so much.
I love Benicio Del Toro.
I love him. Let it be known. Hi, guys. Are you
Hi,
surprised?
everybody.
Are you
Oh my God,
surprised?
What? Hey.
We
Hey, guys.
saw all the buzz around everyone's new favorite movie, apparently. And we were like, we simply must do a bonus ep. We have to.
We got to talk about it.
The people need to hear our opinions. I'm just kidding.
What will the discourse do without our voices?
I know.
We had to watch it. So I
Yeah.
watched it last night. You watched it this morning.
I did because
This is the new... Oh, yes.
Dan and I walked all the way. Well, walked all the way. Yeah, we have a movie theater in walking distance, which is very lucky. We walked there, and by the time we got there, the entire theater was sold out. Not a seat available.
We love to see it.
And I love that. I was mad.
You
But
walked all the way there.
But I love that. I love that this is sold out. I haven't had that problem in, I'm not joking, like over 10 years probably.
Not since Sinners.
Yeah.
I had trouble getting a seat at Sinners.
Oh, really?
And,
Yeah.
which really tells... That has honestly happened a couple of times this year where the theater has been very full when I've gone. It was really full for Weapons. It was very hard to get a seat for Sinners. And I just feel like movies are back, baby.
I do too. I love
had
to
a
see
tough
this.
time with... I mean, Hollywood is still having a very tough time in general with production for a variety of reasons, but we had COVID. First we had sort of like this sort of Marvelification of like for like 10 years where like original IP did decrease. Then we had COVID, then we had the strikes, then we had the fires, and now we're back, baby.
They really put theaters through it, but we're here, and I love to see a sold out theater. I really do, even when it means I have to go at 10 a.m. the next day.
Yeah, even when it means that because I live in America, I have to like sit with my anxiety of like, what if there's an active shooter situation, which I think every time I'm in a full theater.
You feel that way. Yeah. I know, it is in the back of my mind. It is. That's so interesting. Yeah. Hate that.
Let's do gun reform.
I would love to.
Just putting it out there.
Yep. Let's shake on it.
Lots of guns in this movie.
That's true.
So yeah, you saw it at 10 a.m.
I sure did. What a choice.
Tell me your first impression.
Oh my God. Well, so I just saw it. So I'm still formulating some of my opinions. Whenever I see buzz about a movie that's this intense and this many positive reviews, I'm a little wary and I get a little nervous that what if I don't like it as much as the critics?
What is that going to say about you?
Exactly. What will people think? No,
I get the same thing. I'm like, what will it mean about me?
Will it mean? Yeah, but I am a big fan of Paul Thomas Anderson in general. Even the movies that I feel like were mid, I'm still like, he's a genius. I really love him and his work in general. He's one of my favorite directors, and this didn't disappoint, baby. It did not. I really like this movie. I don't think it's as perfect as is being advertised. I think it's a little overblown.
They're definitely marketing a lot with the like very high Rotten Tomatoes score and stuff like that. Yeah.
I think that feels inflated to me, if I'm being totally honest, like brutally honest. I think it's awesome. I love it. I don't think it's like the I don't know, revelation that it's being made out to be. That being said, I think that Paul Thomas Anderson is one of the best directors of actors ever. I think it's his special skill. Like he can take anybody, and I think he does this often where he casts like very unknown people or even pulls in people off the street that are like non-actors at all.
Wow.
and can direct them to do really brilliant things. And I have a lot of respect for that. And I do think that the performances in this movie were some of the best that I've seen out of a lot of these actors in a long time. I think it's Leo's
Mhm.
best work in a long time. I think it's Sean Penn's best work in a long time. I love Benicio in this. I mean, everybody's acting their stupid face off.
Teyana Taylor.
Teyana Taylor has never been bad at
Never
anything in
once
her
in her
life,
life, but this was so
but this was
nuanced and tasty.
so
Mm.
good, and I
Mm.
love her, and I love seeing her. I think the story is fascinating. It is based on existing story.
Is it?
Yes, which makes some sense to me because even like the the names and stuff, I was like, this feels like a book, or I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But my overall opinion is the acting was just out of this world. The pacing was spectacular. In a very long movie, I find that to be very impressive. So the editing work
Yep.
and camera work and all of that was really, really brilliant. I felt a little worried, and I've read about this now, so I'm like, okay, I feel differently a little bit, but I still need to simmer. I, I was like, is this romanticizing violence in a way?
Mm-hmm. I have the same pondering.
Yeah, and I was like, let me sit on that because I don't want to misinterpret what it's trying to say. And I do think it's fair. Like these topics are super relevant and really interesting to explore, and I appreciate the way that it explored them. Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I also appreciated that it was kind of like out of time in a way. Like it could have been
wasn't
any
it?
time, yeah, in the US,
Yeah.
which I appreciate. Although in my head it was like 90s to 2000s for whatever reason. But
there were iPhones and stuff.
there were phones and things, but
It was so aesthetically informed by the 70s that
Yes.
it made everything,
mhm,
time felt a little
a little wonky.
nebulous. Yeah.
But I do think that one piece of it, I'm like, I hope that's not what people take away, is that like violence is the only way to protest, because I don't think that that's true personally, but after reading more, I don't think that that's what it was saying.
Yeah.
I think it was more nuanced than that, and I really, really love the way, like, my biggest takeaway is immigrants, they get the job done. That's what this movie is saying to me. And I frickin' love it. I frickin' love it. Benicio del Toro's entire storyline was the strongest, in my opinion,
I
of
totally
all
agree.
the storylines.
Yep. And I right when that kicked off, I was just starting to have thoughts of like, is this going to be a movie about white people saving brown people? Because I don't want to watch that. And then that storyline kicked off, and I went, nope, it's
never
not.
mind.
It
Right.
sure is not.
Yeah, and by the like, I agree. I also had that. I was like, okay, wait, Leo's the lead in this, but they quickly, I think, moved away from that and
Very
into
quickly.
Chase Infinity is the new young actress that played Willa, who I thought was
Her name is Chase Infinity?
It's too perfect, frankly. I think that's her middle name, but
Yowza.
that's her stage name is Chase Infinity, but Infinity is her actual
Incredible.
middle name, which is the coolest thing I've ever heard, potentially.
Iconic.
But I think she's a brilliant young actress, and
What
I
a
can't
find.
I can't wait to see more from her. And I love that we very quickly transitioned into it being her story and her fighting for herself. And that was important, that it wasn't Leo saving her. In fact, he didn't at all.
No, he just felt like a moving piece in a very big machine.
Mhm.
Like that it was much more of an ensemble piece than I realized that it was going to be, which I found really cool to watch. Yeah.
Same. So yeah, my overall opinion is I think it's great. I felt a little bit weird in places, but I also think that was warranted and fair. And I simply love the satire. I really do.
The Christmas Adventurers.
How dare you,
Girl.
Paul Thomas Anderson? How dare you, you sick twisted man.
So fucking funny.
It was, and
oh my God.
I really love that this had so many comedic moments because it allows you to look at some of these things and just be like, that is so ridiculous.
Oh, it was a very funny film.
Very funny. So that was a big plus. Actually, the more we're talking about it even now, I'm like liking it better and better. I do think it was a little long, just a little long.
It was almost 3 hours, which is quite
long.
Quite a watch. Yeah.
But yeah, overall, do I think it's worth the hype? I do. I think it's a little inflated, but I think it's great and worth a watch, if nothing else, for all the actors and their performances. My God.
Oh.
Perfection.
Oh, the performances are so good. Oh, and Regina Hall, who I
love. Hall, I love seeing you. I love seeing you in
She
things.
is so thrilling on screen. I
know.
love Regina Hall. I think she's so, first of all, wildly beautiful.
Yeah, that is
staggeringly
so
beautiful.
wrong.
She's such a nuanced and
yes, very
complex actor. Oh, I love Regina Hall.
Yeah, I just think that the casting in this could not have been better. It could not have been more perfect. So that is, it's worth seeing it just for that alone. But yeah, I feel like I need to sit on it even more to really know my like actual final thoughts. But overall,
really cook.
Very good.
Well, maybe during this discussion,
I think we'll come to more revelation. I have to know what you thought, Alex. I'm so curious.
Okay, well, I went in like pretty damn cold because I had seen the trailer and sort of half paid attention and enough to go like, oh, I'll be quite interested in seeing that. But here's confession time. Are you ready, Steph? Full confession.
Yeah, do it.
This was the first Paul Thomas Anderson movie I've ever seen.
You're not telling the truth right now.
I have not seen a single Paul Thomas Anderson film.
You are absolutely lying to my face.
I know.
Are you kidding? It is a
massive blind spot.
Well, because you've seen everything, Alex.
I've seen everything else.
Well, like when I haven't seen something, I'm like, that makes sense. But you've seen every movie, famously.
I don't know how. Wait, I think my parents didn't have them in the house, which was a lot of how I watched things. I didn't catch any on TV, which was a lot of how I watched things. And then for some reason, when I got older, I just like never thought I should probably watch, Blood. There Will Be Blood, or what's the other one?
I can't believe
Punch Drunk Love. I've never seen Boogie Nights.
That's Alex. I'm shook to death.
I know. It's crazy. I didn't see Phantom Thread. I know.
Well, no. Okay. To be fair, I think that his movies can be like, they're not super fun. Like, let's throw it on watches. They're like, you gotta buckle down watches. So I kind of get it. I will say
the one that I feel like sorry.
No, go ahead. Tell me.
I was just going to say the one that I really think is my biggest blind spot is There Will Be Blood, because
that's surprising.
I drink your milkshake. Like, I've seen the memes. It just never came up.
I understand, and it did come out like way before we would have been old enough to like enjoy that.
That's like I tend to be quite familiar with those movies, and
that's true.
I just had this massive PTA shaped blind spot in my life.
In your
heart.
Me
tell you, I'm on a journey now because I saw this and this was fantastic.
Good.
And I am thrilled by him as a director. Absolutely delighted.
Think he's one of the best. I really do.
I love his like style, voice, choices. It all felt so deliberate. I like, there was a little Coen Brothers in there.
Yeah.
There was a little like I don't know, like not Sam Raimi, but like there that Robert Rodriguez, maybe even like
I
don't know. There was just I really liked what he did with his movie, and I want to see what he does with other movies. So I'm going to go down the rabbit hole, I promise, and we'll probably cover some things.
Well, and again, this is another behemoth of a long ass movie, which he loves. One of my favorite movies of all time actually is Magnolia, and it's what made me love him.
That's Paul Thomas Anderson?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I have seen bits of Magnolia.
Okay.
Because my dad did have that on DVD.
Okay. It's a
but I don't really remember
movie.
it. Yeah. I remember Julianne Moore.
Okay. Yes, 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 yes. I think that's genuinely one of the best movies ever, maybe. And it's one of those it's the best Tom Cruise has ever acted, and he's a good actor. But
Mhm.
that's his best role, and I'll die on that hill. And it's perfect, and I love it, and it's weird, and it's
Well,
interpersonal relationships, and I loved it.
I guess we should cover Magnolia,
I would love to. I thought you'd never
which was a
ask.
big inspiration for Weapons.
Yes, yes.
And also, another full circle moment. We just covered Fast Times at Ridgemont High with Sean Penn, which also has a needle drop of American Girl in it, just like this movie. Full circle.
I was staring at him trying to
Like, that's
connect.
Spicoli.
Yes. And I was like, I can't even see it. Like, I can't even fathom that that's the same person because he's so stupid good at his job.
He bodies, he bodies and embodies characters very
Yes, he does.
thoroughly. Yes.
So tell me more. So you're on board to the PTA train.
I'm on the PTA train. I liked that I picked up very quickly that it was going to be kind of like a black comedy.
Mhm.
I liked I had absolutely no idea that it was about like essentially domestic terrorists waging war against ICE. I was thrilled to
Correct.
find out that's what it was about.
I'm so shocked
and
that you didn't know that.
Well, I have a listen, I'm not stupid enough to say all of my thoughts into a microphone about this, but I have a fairly complex and nuanced view of political movements
Mhm.
like this historically, because I do think that it is fairly naive to
Mhm.
look back at the civil rights movement and say like the Black Panthers had nothing to do with how it succeeded,
Yeah,
or to
I
look
agree.
at the crusade for women's votes and women's
Mhm.
rights and to say like, because you had the suffragists who were the nonviolent and the non sort of
Mhm.
the less flashy group. Then you had the suffragettes who were the
Right.
ones who were throwing themselves in front of horses and like setting off bombs
Yeah.
and going to rallies. And I do have a fairly complex view
Mhm.
of political violence historically. I don't condone it.
Mhm.
I'm not saying anybody should do it,
Mhm.
but in learning history, it like there have been the French Revolution
Right.
stopped some bad stuff. I'm not saying it was the only way to go about it or that
Right.
it's one we should
Or the
repeat.
best way to do it.
Absolutely not. I think that revolutionary groups that incorporate violence in their crusade are I think it's a very complicated issue. And I think that
Agreed.
there's a lot to discuss about it. I did wonder, like, oh, whose side is this movie on? Very quickly, you realize, like, it's definitely not on the American military side or
No.
ISIS side, 100%. But I
Yeah.
also think that it does, by the end, I was like, this movie also did a great job of showing that, like, the way that these people chose to go about their very noble cause caused them and a lot of people a lot of harm.
I agree. That's what I came to as well.
Yeah. So I don't think that the movie is romanticizing violence. I think we're in a time when political violence has been quite staggeringly common this year, and
Mhm.
it's getting more and more common. Like I know
Mhm.
a lot of people only really know about Charlie Kirk, but
Mhm.
he was like the fifth act of major political violence this year. There have been
Yeah,
many
there's been a
against
lot.
actual elected officials that have just not been reported on. And it's frightening to see, and it just sort of is the bleak reality of where we're at.
Mhm.
So I guess I think a lot of people, I think this is one of the reasons why it's doing so well. I was
Yeah.
quite ignited by how relevant it is.
Yes. Insane. Like
And it weirdly made me feel connected with other times of major political rebellion against active oppression. Like it weirdly made me feel like oh my god, I can't wait for us to watch, All the President's Men and stuff like that.
Yes.
Because of the timelessness
Yes.
of this film, it made me go like, oh my god, we're a dot on the line of history. And
I've
this
seen a
just
lot
keeps
of comparisons to All the President's Men, actually. Not in the way that it is,
Yeah.
but in terms of the how relevant
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
In terms of the actual film, loved the pacing. Loved that I didn't feel, because I like a 90-minute movie.
I do too, Alex.
And I didn't feel bored or restless when it ended, I was like, this is okay. I can't do 20 more minutes. But
yeah,
I thought the pacing was very, very expertly done. And I liked the way that like themes and pieces of information were revealed along the way.
mm-hmm.
Connections were made along the way. And just the fucking white people, man. The Christmas Adventurers Club,
it's too good.
But I think that like it's not that far-fetched.
No, but that's what great satire is, you know?
Yes.
Like you look at it and you're like, I know exactly what that
satire.
is.
I know who all of these people are.
And I've met them.
I thought I loved that, like it was like Sean Penn's character,
mm-hmm.
Colonel Lockjaw, wild
genius.
It's so much like Judge Frollo from Hunchback of Notre Dame.
I love.
Do you know what I mean?
Comparison.
Like his evil comes from his sort of sexual his desire to sexually oppress someone,
mm-hmm.
and the way that he feels shame about that.
Mm-hmm.
Not about the oppressing part, but about the attraction.
Yep.
And that turns into violence and a need to eradicate. And it's just, I think that's a very fascinating and important theme to explore. And I thought that this film did so very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just the acting was spectacular. Benicio Del Toro, man. Tony Goldwyn.
Yes.
Tony Goldwyn popping up as that guy. I thought he was so great.
I love, yes.
And
He
Tiana
is a
Taylor
fascinating guy, yeah.
thrilled me every second she was on screen. I was just like, I think she should get a nom for this.
I do too.
Supporting.
And I don't think there's a more like beautiful person ever in the history of like the world.
My God.
Is that too much? I was like, this is the perfect person to cast as this, because not only is she a genius and her acting is beyond, but I think she could drive anyone to do anything.
I too would like
lose my mind over this woman.
Yeah, not in the way that he does.
No. I'm not saying.
I was like, oh my God, she's so magnetic. Like,
yes.
just
oh my, yeah, she
staggering.
should get I hope she does get a nom for something.
I think this is exactly the kind of part that should be highlighted
mm-hmm.
in a supporting actor category, and her
mm-hmm.
performance just earns it tenfold.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, Benicio Del Toro, first of all,
say it.
Dreamboat.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that.
So dreamy. But he's got that also swagger. He's the sensei. He's also the sensei, so he's like wise and always very calm, and has a sort of like quietly dominant personality. And so
I do like that as well.
I was like, oh, Benicio Del Toro, man, the man that you are.
I couldn't agree more.
Yep. But I had a blast watching it. I was frightened. I was anxious. I was laughing loud. I was feeling heartbreak. I think it's a terrific film. I really do. And I am interested in hearing kind of the ongoing discourse as it continues.
Me too. I love hearing people speak about this, and actually I have a few little snippets that I want to get into, because I think that some of the takes that I've seen online are really interesting, and
let's
we're
talk about
chatting about.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is kind of in lieu of fun facts, because there are some great interviews with Paul Thomas Anderson and Leo and things that you guys can look at, but there isn't a whole lot about the like fun times making this.
Before we jump into our discussion of one battle after another, we do want to give a quick shout out to our amazing Patreon listeners. Guys, if you don't know, we have a Patreon, and over there we do weekly discussion episodes that are only available to our Patreon listeners. We also do ad-free versions of these episodes and video versions, so you can watch us, which You come on, you got look at these visuals. Whoa.
Whoa,
Look at this,
woo,
look at the crazy face Steph is making. It's bananas. And we have 3 tiers of listeners. If you subscribe to our top tier and the Oscar Bros too, we like to give a quick shout out on the episode. So thank you so much to Brian, Vicky, Brandon, Sally, Paul, Dom, Casey Bob, Patrick Howard, Jessica, Letty G, Lynn, Audrey, and John Johns. We love you guys so much. And right after this break, we will be back to discuss more all about One Battle After Another. We're back.
Surprise! So it is inspired by a novel called Vineland, which is a Thomas Pynchon novel. Not familiar with it, but kind of cool. And it pulls from it. I don't think it's exact, but it is inspired by that novel. And that novel, I believe, is also really based in these sort of California settings. So pulling together the locations was a nightmare for them, apparently.
I just want to say,
say
when at the beginning when they bomb the like generator and it causes the blackout, that was like the next mall over from the one I was in. The whole theater were like, "Ha,
you're kidding!"
Yeah, it was the one like in the valley when you're coming off of the 405.
Oh my god, what a bizarre experience!
I think it's the Sherman Oaks Galleria. It could be wrong,
you're
but
kidding.
It's like that area, and I was like, that's like right over there.
That's too funny.
So
yeah, well, if you're a California resident, this was filmed all over California. So that's one of the locations, but the production designer, Florencia Martin, Slay Florencia, she was saying that they had to like very meticulously choose these spaces that could have a lot of magnitude and be sort of present day, but also its own reality. So that was the idea behind finding the spaces, which I think is really cool and definitely captured.
For sure.
And it was filmed in at least 9 different counties in California. And also a little bit in El Paso, Texas. And California subsidies really helped make this film.
Love to see it.
Yes.
Love to see it.
I really do.
I recognized quite a few locations as like particularly certain areas in the desert and yeah, quite a few.
Yeah. And it's super distinct too. Like they said that they use the Sacramento rail yards, the Tijuana border crossing, the hills of the Anza Borrego Desert. So they're all kind of unique places. Like you don't see a whole lot of filming going on in those particular locations, which is really cool. It feels very unique.
I wonder, there was one desert shot. I think it was where Lockjaw brings Willa out to meet with the bounty hunter, and I was like, I bet this is the same area of desert where they filmed 7 Psychopaths. I don't know if it is, but I was like, oh, this looks like that one desert scene in 7 Psychopaths.
You're so right. Oh my gosh.
Cannot confirm or deny. That's just my hypothesis.
Someone else confirm or deny.
Yeah, someone tell us.
But yeah, super cool. All of those sort of spaces that they filmed in were very, very cool and very timeless. Like, can't really tell what time period it is, which I love. So I was looking into, as I was saying earlier, I was like, I really hope people don't take away that this is saying yay violence. Like, and that's the only thing that they take away.
Like bomb state houses.
Right. I was like, hopefully that's
don't want that encouraged.
New. Like, hopefully that's not the takeaway. And I actually found some really interesting articles and opinions on exactly this because it's a big part of the movie. So Richard Newby from The Hollywood Reporter has a really interesting and I think quite well written, thoughtful article. And in it, he said, some argue the film celebrates political violence, but it doesn't at all. It depicts it as a temporary solution, one that, when drawing battle lines, only results in casualties on both sides and creates victims out of those who suffer under the same realities of America. It's no mere coincidence that the security guard that Perfidia shoots and kills during the
Mm-hmm.
robbery is an elderly black man, and it's that act that breaks her spirit.
Yep.
Which I think is a really great point that I
Yeah.
didn't internalize at the time, but I was like, yes, this makes sense.
I remember thinking that too. I was like, oh, the one casualty is someone who is as much of a victim of this
Yes.
as she is.
And you can see
Ugh.
this is why her acting was so stupid good. But you can
Oh.
see all these different feelings about it in her face, like
Mm-hmm.
immediate in like a couple seconds. Maybe it's only like 2 or 3 seconds. All of these feelings about that kind of hit her, and
Mm-hmm.
this realization of what she's done in that moment. I thought that was quite interesting and a good point. I also think that that is further solidified because Benicio Del Toro is the one that ends up being taken to jail or whatever. Like he
Yeah.
ends up being arrested and Leo gets away not
Benicio
scot,
del Toro is
you
the
know.
hero of the film. Del Toro
Definitely.
and Regina Hall are the two heroes of the film.
Yeah, they're the ones that are yeah, like money where your mouth is type people.
Mm-hmm.
Um and I think that that's a good point, and I think it's true. Like if you really look at the outcome of these people, the violent acts are not the ones that are driving the positive, super positive change. Benicio del Toro being like calm and brilliant and like literally helping people in a
Underground Railroad. He says
yes,
it. Yeah.
that is the most useful way that people are helping in this film.
Mm-hmm.
And same for Regina Hall, who's just like an honest, caring person that's trying to do her best in the
Mm-hmm.
circumstance that she's in.
And her focus is about keeping people safe and getting them out of danger.
Exactly. And I do think Tiana Taylor's um, character really does pay for what she does in a way.
Majorly.
It's not like they're
Yeah.
you her really at all. It's this
Mm-mm.
really challenging thing that now her kid has to deal with, and her husband, and it's not just like she did it and it doesn't matter, slay. Like, no. It mattered. She also was trying to do a good thing. Like she was
Yeah.
trying her best to help, and
And
she
in
didn't
like the
do it
way
the right
she knew
way.
how. Her mom said like she comes from 3 generations of revolutionaries.
Mhm.
Like she was a
Yeah.
product of her environment that I really think is I think that character is very complex. And
Yes.
I think it's very clear that she did morally bad things,
Mhm.
and she also did morally good things.
Mhm.
And when she did the morally bad things, a lot of the time, a lot of her intentions were pure. Maybe some of them weren't, and I think that that is interestingly explored too in the psyche of
Yeah.
her, in the fact that like there's also this sort of like eroticism attached to the
Yeah.
violence of it.
It's like she gets off on it in a way.
Yeah, but I just think I like the way that that character gets to be not a villain, but one who is an exploration of
Complex.
choices and
Mhm.
consequences. Yeah.
Exactly. I she's not vilified and she's also not deified. She is
Yeah.
complex. And
She's very human, actually.
yeah. Yeah, like you understand her anger throughout. You understand why she's doing the things that she does.
Especially when you look at like what happened between her and Lockjaw and the fact that that was coercive rape. Like it
Yeah.
and you can see there's a beautiful shot of her face when she's walking away from him after he says to come to the hotel. After he corners her in the bathroom, and she's like just horrified and you can see that she feels violated and very, very sad about what she now has to do.
Yeah.
And that is very complicated. That entire dynamic is very complicated also. And
Right.
just
And
she goes through some crazy shit.
100%. And it's I feel like you learn so much about her the minute she has that first interaction with Sean Penn's character. She doesn't do the like obvious thing. She knows the way to control him or
keep him distracted.
Right. And I find that very interesting. But yeah, this Richard Newby also wrote in that Hollywood Reporter article, when you look at the great social revolutions of America in terms of organization and impact, Black women have been at the forefront of that charge. Um, Anderson is clearly aware of that, and undoubtedly his marriage to Maya Rudolph had some impact on his perspective. The majority of the revolutionary figures we see in one battle after another are Black women, mirroring the realities of America. Those who have the least in terms of rights and respect often have the most fight, which I think is a really important part of this film, and like an important
Yeah.
part to understand about why the characters act in the way that they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and again, it's very, very relevant to right now, because right now we live in like two completely different Americas, where half of us are looking around and seeing how far down the 1934 line towards fascism that we are. We see how far the Overton window has moved. We see that we're in a crisis, that we're in a that democracy is in a crisis, that we're in a state of emergency, and that things are already like, we already have Gestapo. We already have people being rounded up and disappeared. We already like,
Yeah.
we're already there. And half the country genuinely doesn't either know or believe that that's happening, and are too motivated by their attachment to comfort to sort of face that reality. And most of those people are people who fit privileged demographics, white people,
because it affects you
people
the
who
least.
it affect the skin is not in the game, or they don't
Right.
see that their skin is in the game yet. And it means that like the people who have to end up doing something about it are the ones who are willing and able, not just willing and able, but forced to acknowledge the reality. And I can't remember who said it, but I read a quote once that was like, the progress of the world is steered by 2.3% of people.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And it was about how like it really, there are people doing good and fighting evil behind the scenes, and it is up to us to like, we all have to do as much as we can to do that. But like, this was a prime example, Benicio Del Toro's like network of an already established
Genius.
organization and infrastructure that a lot of white people, when they're just looking to join the fight, they think they got to start an organization. And it's like, no. The
It's
framework
happening.
is there. Uphold the people who already understand how it works and who are already doing the work.
And keep up, Leo, for God's sake.
Oh my, and don't drink beer when you're driving past a fucking cop.
I love it. Well, okay, and speaking of that in particular, I think that it was really quite genius to have his character be trying really hard to help. Like his heart is in the right place. He's trying, and he cares about people, but he's old.
Fried his brain.
Yeah,
his brain is fried.
His brain is fried. He's stuck in his old ways. The way he speaks and stuff. It's so funny to me, because these are the older people that I tend to know, are like people that are very well meaning, but they just cannot wrap their brain around certain things, and they're trying. They don't really mean ill. But that whole phone conversation with the younger guy, I was like crying.
He wasn't younger. That was the craziest reveal to me, was that guy was the same age as him. I actually thought that was really funny, and it kept it from being a sort of like, sorry, and just like that hateful stereotype of young people.
Have you seen the horror movie edits of Just Like That?
Yes, I follow her on
that
TikTok.
Way.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
But like, I thought that was the funniest reveal, that that is also satirizing a very real branch of progressivism that is pedantic and nitpicky and distracting and wasting time.
And I feel that that's really smart and really, really great to see, because it allows people that may feel connected to that in some way, like, oh, sometimes I feel that way, to say like, yeah, that is a little bit silly, but you can still try, like you can still be a part of this positive change.
Yes.
Like I was like, yes, I love seeing that. That's very nuanced and kind of brave, honestly, to write that in a way. Like
I think so too.
I was like, whoop, I'll love it. I'll love to see it, because
He
to
said,
me,
you're invading my sound space.
I live. He's like, you're fucking sound. Incredible.
Oh my God, it was so funny.
It was so funny. And I do think there is a point when you have to be like, when people's intentions really, really matter. And if you're able to say like I don't think his response is fantastic.
No, he didn't handle it great.
But I do think there's a time and a place for like the teaching moment.
Yes. And what I really liked about it, and I liked that it was like two white dudes having this conversation because it got to really illustrate the point, which is he's talking, he is lecturing one of the original revolutionaries about reading the text and taking it more seriously.
Incredible.
And it reminds me of like, this happens a lot in queer spaces when like young queer people do sometimes try to tell people who lived and protested through the AIDS crisis and things like that.
Yeah.
Like how to kind of
speak
operate and and it's like, you know, sometimes it's a very worthwhile conversation and other times it's like you are like, think about who you're speaking to and the fact that you probably have things you could learn from that person. like
maybe it's a two-way street.
It's a two-way street.
You know what you're gonna laugh at me. I was really moved by this recently and I was like, that is how this should go. That's how this conversation. Did you ever watch Say Yes to the Dress?
I love Say Yes to the Dress. I watched that episode too. I watched that episode too with the non-binary bride, and Randy was like, I don't know how to do it. And
I was like, I'm going to cry.
I know,
like they were really so kind to him and he was very open and honest and he was like, I'm older, like I'm worried about messing up. And
they were very generous to like let there be space for Randy to muddle through a little bit.
And he
until he got over to the other side.
Yeah. And he is like not old, but like an older person who was a public facing gay figure in a time when it was like not chill. Like I think because it's so accepted now, I feel like people really don't remember how not that long ago, genuinely not that, when I was like in high school, which was not that long ago, this was not okay.
No.
Like people were fighting. People could not be married. It was bad. They
couldn't be fucking married. And sometimes I hear queer people. Sometimes I hear, well, actually not now that it's evidently happening, but like in the lead up to the election when Project 2025 was floating around, queer people were like, not queer people, some Republican gay people.
Yes.
A specific, sorry to get political, but this is who I'm talking about. That like who either because they had issues with trans people or they had issues with immigrants or for whatever reason, were like, well, he's not going to come after us. We have our rights.
Yeah, I do kind of remember
and it's like, we just got them.
Yeah.
We just got the right to
and
get
also
married.
Fought tooth and nail. Lest we forget.
Centuries.
Yeah. People were dying over this. So let's not forget. So I do really appreciate that that's a piece of this, that like, people's intentions matter as well. And I think that that's something I don't see portrayed very much. Like you can do better and be better, but also if your intention is good, you can learn. Like you can be a part of it and you can learn as long as you're trying.
And also like if you're just tell him where his daughter is.
Oh my God, sir, this man lost his daughter. Are you nuts?
Or transfer to your supervisor right away. Come on.
I would be doing the same thing. I would be screaming. I would be beside myself. So
beside myself.
Relatable.
But I'm sorry, he got the first two passwords right. It's the third one. It's the what time is it? And then the answer is there is no fucking time. Or
incredible.
Like oh my God, hilarious. The pedantry is
it's so funny. So that was something I really appreciated. And I actually was on Reddit. Shout out Reddit. I love Reddit theories.
I just made an account.
Oh my gosh.
Like 5 months ago. I'm now on Reddit. I don't post, but I do read.
Same. I've never posted on Reddit, but I love reading opinions on Reddit. I just think it's so the Wild West, and people will say truly anything.
The Wild West.
But people have been actually, I recommend you reading about this movie on Reddit because it's kind of fascinating. And
I'd like to.
One of the users was talking about something that I took away from the film, and I'm wondering, Alex, if you see it the same way. I'm just very curious. That this particular user said something that immediately stuck out to them was that Bob did effectively nothing the entire movie. And they said, I get that he's supposed to be a burnt out revolutionary, but when tracking back even to the beginning of the film, he's presented as like running late to the revolution.
Yep.
And his role like isn't critical. Like he lights off fireworks, but everyone did the actual shit. Like he just
he's a bomb maker.
Right.
Yeah. He built the bombs that like took down the grid and stuff.
Exactly. So I think that's a little unfair, but I do think in some ways it's true. Like he's always running behind. Everyone already did the shit before he got there, particularly the black women.
Yep.
Which is, I think, an interesting
accurate accurate
and even when like Benicio Del Toro sensei is getting arrested, they asked like what he threw out the window, and he was like, trash, just trash.
Because he was like, four, let go. He's like, slow down, get the fuck out of the car, Bob.
I know. And they also pointed out like when Willa needs to deal with her like assassination attempt, she does it all herself. She figures it out.
Willa is very impressive.
Yes.
Although, girl, you have to not have a phone.
Willa.
But the second she said, I don't have a phone, I said, yes, she does. She's
a teenager
14 or whatever. She has a phone.
I know.
Search her.
I know. But she did everything. And by the time he got there, it was already done. Like she already saved herself,
done.
Which
she
I like.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, do you kind of think that Bob's character is this idea of like passive being a part of the resistance in a way?
Yeah. I mean, he has the right ideals. That's exhibited in the teacher conference scene.
Oh,
he's like,
my God.
I hope you're teaching the right things. Franklin over there, slave owner. A lot of slave owners in this room.
Slay.
That was really funny. And honestly, slay. But yeah, I mean, I think he has the beliefs and he has the he has the right convictions, but I agree. His character in general is very passive. And I also think it's very telling when you compare him with Billy Goat, who was the character played by, the whole time I was like, is that David Wayne? It's not. I don't know why I thought it was David Wayne.
Wait, I'm trying to think of
Paul Grimstad. He's the one who gave him the scanners and was doing
I loved him.
Ham radio.
Mm-hmm.
He also had to go into hiding, and he was spending his time in hiding, keeping up with those systems, going down to detainment centers and giving people cards that said their rights on them. He was very actively still participating and being helpful the best that he could, and clearly like keeping connections with his community in a way that meant that like those kids could help after he was taken. Clearly that was a setup system. So like comparing him with Bob is very, very interesting.
Yes.
Because he stayed proactive even in hiding. Bob got paranoid and immediately became apathetic. Yes. And was not a good dad and fried his brain. The scene where he's literally smoking the very, very end of
the people in my theater,
and then he keeps smoking it during the phone call. Yes. Everybody was losing their mind. And then he's like, don't get paranoid, Bob.
If I haven't been in that position before,
that's why I can't smoke weed, guys.
Me too. I
can't like that. But yeah, I agree. I actually think that it was an exploration of white passivity, and there was merit to Pat/Bob, for sure. But I do think, like, yep, he showed up late and he waited to be told the plan by the Black people actively organizing, and
who already had a plan.
A lot of what he did was out of romantic devotion to his wife
and child, which is
/ girlfriend,
a fair reason to be, ignited in that way. But
But it didn't carry over once he went into hiding.
Right.
He laid very, very low in a way that felt almost self-serving.
Yeah.
And it was to protect his daughter, which I think is valid.
Mm-hmm.
But just, yeah, to compare him with Billy Goat, that's two different kinds of white people.
Yeah, totally.
Both involved, both progressive, both participating in the cause, but like in very different ways.
Yeah, to varying success.
I was quite upset that we never found out what happened to Billy Goat. I hope he's okay, because it really felt like once they got taken in, the army would do anything to them. Yeah. And,
I know.
And nobody would ever know or find out about it. And
yeah, this is something that I also wanted to ask you about. I found this to be interesting too, because I could see, and I wonder if this is rhetoric that's going around, I could see people being like, that's not realistic. That's not how the army operates, blah, blah, blah. Like, I could see that being a conversation.
Yep. I think it's an important conversation to have because, sorry, guys, yes, it is.
I think it depends, right? It's like everything. Like, there's good and bad people in all of these scenarios. I know people in the military that are wonderful people that are doing good things.
Absolutely. This is not about individual officers. It's about the way the might of it is being weaponized by certain people.
That's right. And I think it's kind of interesting. Like, number one, it's a satire, people. It's not exactly about.
It's not a documentary.
It's not a documentary. And I think it does a great job satirizing this, actually, in a lot of ways. But I was kind of thinking about power dynamics in general, and in fact, like, not to bring it back to politics, but how can you not with this movie? I mean, please.
Yeah, that would be ridiculous to not talk about politics.
Like, there's a lot of people operating underneath a president that I think is coercing a lot of people to do a lot of things, probably.
Well, allegedly. No, it is, because don't want to get sued, but like, prime example, I was in LA this year,
right,
when all the, oh my God, the riots and the LA locals were like throwing flaming police cars at the nice officers, and then the National Guard had to get deployed. Sorry, guys, I was here. Oh, I don't know how that became the national narrative, but that's not even a little bit what happened. What happened was that there was a very small, peaceful protest that was it was multi-generational and involved music and speakers. Mm-hmm. It was a very peaceful protest that then got actively antagonized by law enforcement. Like, we watched that happen here. And then the National Guard got deployed, which was a massive waste of taxpayer dollars.
Oh, yeah.
Because the president decided he wanted to stick it to Gavin Newsom for whatever reason. And that is exactly what happens in this movie.
Keep it on the playground.
The taxpayer, keep it on the playground. The taxpayer dollars and the very dangerous might of the American military is being utilized so that Colonel Lockjaw can see through his vendetta against Black women because one didn't want to marry him, and get rid of his problem so he can join a white supremacy group.
Yeah, like, correct.
It's at the whims of a bitter man in power. And that is why the military can be so dangerous to its own people, is because it's nothing to do with individual people who are enrolled in the military, and everything to do with the way the system is set up to have to follow these orders.
Correct.
And it leads to it. I mean, and then look at ICE. People are getting disappeared.
That's the thing that
illegally.
I keep coming back to. Right. Like, I'm okay. There is an it's really complicated. All of these conversations are really, 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 really complicated. So let me just put that out. I know we've already said that, but and I think that this movie is great because it has you think about all of these things, but it doesn't necessarily give you the right answer. It doesn't say like, this is right, this is right. It kind of just lays all these things out and says like, what are you gonna do about it moving forward? Kind of.
It definitely does very clearly paint who the villain is.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
very
absolutely.
clear on that department, but it doesn't
But he's
say
so crazy that it kind of allows you space to be able to put whatever you want there,
Mhm.
if that makes sense. And I think it's smart because if it were too particular targeted, I think people could get a little bit like, ooh, I don't know if I agree with
They
that.
might miss the message.
Right. And instead, I think they allowed it to be so outlandish that then when you walk away, you're like, haha, oh my God, wait.
And that is why comedy is such a vital
Yeah.
part of battling fascism. Like,
Mhm.
historically, that's why Duck Soup and The Great Dictator and a lot of comedians have been so important
Mhm.
historically, because you can ask questions, you can get messages across in ways that are far more palatable and accessible and challenging
Mhm.
to people's core beliefs than just directly saying you are wrong and we are right. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. So that's what, like, in watching this, it's a very fascinating time for this movie to come out. It really is, with Jimmy Kimmel and all of the different things. And we just had a
Mhm.
story of a shooter um going and killing ICE cops. I don't know what they're
Mhm.
even freaking called. Agents? Um
Yeah. Agents.
and like I vehemently disagree with murdering anybody. um but I'm looking around and I'm like, I understand this like overwhelming sense of like you versus me. Like I think that's the danger, I guess. Like
Mhm.
that's the danger. And I think I loved what this movie was doing because it didn't feel like it was saying that. It didn't feel
Mhm.
to me that it was saying you versus me. It felt like let's all look at the bigger picture and then come together. That's what I got.
Right. And that doesn't, and I bristle at, like, why can't we all just get along rhetoric? Because, and we were talking about this before we recorded, like, oftentimes it's only directed at people responding to abuse or
Uh-huh.
violence or danger, rather than at the people actually propagating abuse or violence or danger. But to your point, Steph,
Yeah.
what this film explored through its comedy and structure and outlandish characters is the fact that when it's person versus person to the death, it's not
Hmm.
going to go great for anybody.
Yep.
But when there are systems in place where people can count each other and stick their necks out for each other and have each other's backs
Hmm.
against
Yeah.
the oppression, it success can happen.
Yes. Yeah. I
So,
totally agree
like,
with that.
let's all come together against the oppression,
Exactly.
not don't criticize the oppression.
Yeah. You know what? Another thing that I really appreciated this film doing
Mhm.
is let's talk about the Christmas Club. Hilarious. Hilarious.
Oh my god, can we please talk about the Christmas Club? I'm so
These
excited.
divas. um so my favorite part of that, which was hysterical for lots of reasons, and they are completely outlandish, crazy, like funny characters, whatever, but they're also horrifying because they're white supremacists. And
Yeah.
the thing that I love about what they did with them is in the end, they destroy each other, which I
Yep.
think is true of these types of people.
Yes.
When
Look
you're,
at
yeah,
Donald and Elon.
well,
Look at them getting in a little argument when
I,
the honeymoon was over, baby.
they're fighting. No, yeah. I think that when it comes to people that function off of hate and connect with
Mhm.
each other off of hate, they're gonna hate each other eventually. Like, it's like when you hear somebody like shit talking everyone that they know, they're gonna shit talk you. It's
Yeah.
that idea. So
And when the dynamic is rooted in the concept of purity,
yes, exactly.
because
Like,
that leads to superiority, which leads to
yes.
competitiveness, which leads to trying to establish dominance, and then they
Mm-hmm.
eat each other.
Correct. And I love that what they did was showed how damaging they are, yes, to the people that they're oppressing, but also to each other. Like they destroy each other. And I
Ugh.
love that. And they aren't like yay eradicated at the end. They're actually still very much in power in the end
Oh
of the
yeah.
movie, which I think
Yeah.
was a very smart ending place to say, like, this is still a very functional organization in this world that still needs constantly to be fought against and kept up on, and it's functioning
Yes.
behind closed doors and underneath the promises of a delicious pancake.
Okay, this is the okay. Several observations about this that made me cackle. One,
Yeah, go
the
ahead.
fact that their meetings literally take place in one of their mom's basements.
Incredible.
Like, I know
So
they're
funny.
rich people, so they're in like a secret fancy bunker, but it's
No.
literally in one of their mom's basements.
It's so
hilarious.
funny. Yeah.
Two, a couple oh hey it's that guys to give out in this this little group here. First of all, Tony Goldwyn, the man that you are, Tarzan.
What can he do?
Waxing poetic about racial purity as though he didn't have the most delicious swirl relationship with Olivia Pope for a million years on Scandal.
He's still hot.
He is so fine.
Dare I say?
No, like, actually, it's crazy how
Tony,
he gets hotter
age
every
worse.
year.
What?
He is aging like into like new layers of hotness. It's bizarre.
Yeah, like, it's crazy.
He's so handsome. It's bananas. So he's the head of the Christmas Adventurers Club, which is a club devoted to like white supremacy and racial purity and like essentially eradicating and exterminating non-whiteness. Horrifying, hilariously satirized, brilliantly satirized. And so a couple of hey, it's that guys to give out. Tony Goldwyn as the head of as Virgil Throckmorton. Hilarious. Then you've got Jim Downey was one of the guys. He was a writer for SNL for a million years. He still is, I think. Yeah, he did like 30 seasons on SNL.
He was very funny.
He is a very famous comedy writer.
And yeah.
Yeah. He played Sandy Irvine. And then you've got Kevin Teig, just character actor for the ages, who played Roy Moore, who only turned up right at the end. And just the appearance of him got a laugh because people recognized him from, like, you know, $6 Million Man, from What's Eating Gilbert Grape, I Love Men in Uniform, Lost. He was on Lost. He is just, he's Emergency was like the big show he was on, but he has been in so many things. And him appearing in that one scene got like borderline entrance applause because
that's
people were
incredible.
Like, and then you've got D.W. Moffat, who played Bill Desmond in the Christmas Adventure.
I cannot.
It's literally so funny. And then you've got Tim Smith, played by John Hugenacker. Incredible.
Wow.
And I thought it was extra funny that he looks exactly like Tony Goldwyn. They look the same.
They look the same. He's on Chicago Fire. Okay.
He was great in this role. He's the one who's like sent to kill Willa and also to kill mainly to kill Lockjaw, just to eradicate the problem.
Yep, get rid of it.
The funniest part to me was, first of all, they're all in their like Republican tech bro uniforms with their little vests, right? And in the scene,
the vest uniform was brilliant.
So brilliant. And even more in the scene where he goes and he shoots Lockjaw and then goes after Willa.
Yeah.
Prominently featured is the Lacoste logo on his polo shirt. I lost my mind. I was laughing so hard.
Too good.
Too good, man.
Like, it was like, I swear to God, they lit that. Like, they lit it specifically.
No, it was prominently featured.
Yeah.
And that made me laugh so hard.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. So the Christmas Adventurers Club, I just was frankly my favorite part of the whole movie. Well, Benicio Del Toro's whole subplot was my favorite part of the whole movie, but my favorite element of the movie, the part that made me laugh the most and also felt so pointed, was the Christmas Adventures Club because it's so they're little babies.
Yes.
They're little baby tantrum babies
in Lacoste
just
vests.
who need to approve. They need approval from each other, and they want it so bad, and they gotta go have little meetings in their mom's basement. That's who these men are.
And I just think there is something about like the house that they picked for him to walk into was too spot on. If that
So
is
spot on.
not a Republican ass house, I hate to say it that way.
Utah ass Republican ass rich parents' house. So funny.
If that's not an all lives matter house, I don't know what is.
That is an all lives matter house, baby. Live, laugh, love.
Live, love, love. I just think that the use of them as the true enemy was brilliant, and I love to see it. And I also feel like there's something about it being a Christmas club that really brings me back to like the Starbucks bonanza. Remember that?
What do you mean bring back? It happens every year.
Right, sorry.
The war on Christmas
The
is
ongoing
my favorite
it's
nonsense
so
conflict.
Fun.
The way that when
Fun
Donald
for the
Trump
whole
was
family.
elected, people were like, we can say Merry Christmas again. I'm like, what
Chris,
are you
what are you smoking?
talking about? Why do you have such a hard on for Christmas?
Merry
you
Christmas.
Like, I love Christmas. I've never not been allowed to say it.
Are you kidding
feel
me?
festive when I drink my little Starbucks drink. Well, I'm actually boycotting Starbucks right now because their CEO is shitty.
Oh, and that's a fact. But I
Tea.
I thought that that's maybe a little piece of why they were called that, and I was like,
of course,
I
because
love
it's
this.
nonsense.
Yeah, no, it's like so silly, guys.
It's a made up
Hail Saint
problem.
Nick?
Hail Saint Nick.
Are you guys okay?
The knock on the door was jingle bells.
It was funny. The whole thing was funny, and I love that because
so funny.
if you're able to laugh at it, I feel like you're able to. Well, you're like, I don't know what the word is. If you're able
see
to laugh
through it.
Yes, exactly. Yes, you're able to
the
see
emperor has no clothes.
Right. You're able to see how absurd those types of people are, and they are truly
it almost
insane.
takes the power away. Of course, then you have to then take the steps to literally take the power away from these people and stop giving them your money and electing them. But like, it takes the power over you away if you're able to be like, that's fucking stupid.
Right.
I don't need it to impress these people.
Yes. And it's incredible that Lockjaw is like giving up every part of himself and everything that he can just to be in his little club.
To be in the club, to be a special
He
boy.
literally gets his
He
face.
just wants to be a special boy.
He wants to be special. He gets his face blown off by one of them and still
by them
goes and
really
grovels.
And
says he's
he just
reverse raped.
Reverse raped. Don't get me started. That whole conversation was wild.
My theater was like howling
Because it's absurd.
it's insane, buddy boy.
First of all, if it shows their like fragile masculinity. If you were raped, you were raped. It wasn't reverse raped. First of all, reverse raped is an insane thing to say. Second of all, you literally did the coercion. So
correct. That'd be correct. Yeah. So I just think that was a stroke of brilliance. That whole plot line. Fabulous.
Hey, here's a question, because I think we're just talking about the movie, and I have a couple more questions for you about the movie. But one of them is about the use of the score. Do you want to check the score real quick?
Yes, of course.
Let's check it.
Because I didn't recognize this composer.
Wait till I tell you who he is. You're going to be like, oh my God. All right. So the score. Do you know why the score was so good?
It was great. Tell me.
It was Sinners is always just going to be my favorite everything of this year, but like this was easily up there for my favorite scores of the movie or of the year. The score was written by Johnny Greenwood. Do you know who that is?
Well, I saw his name at the in the credits, but I don't recognize it.
Johnny Greenwood is the lead guitarist and keyboardist of Radiohead.
Are you joking?
He's considered one of the greatest guitarists of all time.
Wait, oh my God, that makes so much sense.
Doesn't it, though?
Yes.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Now, what I loved about this score was that it was a character. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this score was not ambient. This score was not about like setting the mood gently in the background. No, this
No.
score was an active participant in every single scene of this movie, and I loved it. Peter Bradshaw of The Guardian called it a jolting, jangling, nerve shredding score.
Accurate.
Brian Tallarico of RogerEbert.com said it was a truly bonkers score by Johnny Greenwood, one that almost constructs themes for sections around sparsely played individual instruments. For a long stretch in the middle of the film, as Bob and Sergio evade Lockjaw's
Sergio, I think. Well, I don't know.
Sergio, Sensei.
Yeah.
Evade Lockjaw's team. It sounds like a single piano key being struck with the occasional flurry of what could be a cat running across the ivories. It's a remarkably effective choice, a score that almost sounds like an alarm going off somewhere. Owen Gleiberman of Variety wrote, Johnny Greenwood's modernist musical score pacing the film like a metronome of suspense. It just, like, when I went through and listened to it this morning, I was like, this is just so exciting to listen to. I hear some Bernard Herrmann in there. I hear some Hitchcock. I hear like experimental music in there.
Definitely.
I really enjoyed it. And I had trouble selecting a track to feature, but then I realized that the one that stuck with me the most was at the end when they're driving up and down those hills, which also gave me motion sickness.
Did it?
I literally
thought that was
very
great.
dizzy. I got very dizzy. It was amazing. I thought it was
I thought it
perfect.
was cool.
I actually found myself wondering, I wonder if Paul Thomas Anderson was driving somewhere, went over those roads and made a movie because of that. Like,
And he was
felt
like,
so
this
specific.
is cool.
This is cinematic. I need to make a movie here. Like, it was so specific. But the score during that part, I just found so reminiscent of like Psycho and Birdman a little bit as well. And I'll play it for you now. Let's have a listen. This track is called River of Hills.
Okay.
Here we go. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
To the point where I almost was like, did they sample Psycho? But like, it is its own thing. It's very much its own thing. And I love the quirky use of instruments. Really reminded me of like I, Tonya, the I, Tonya score. Justin Chang of The New Yorker wrote, the score veers between manic percolation, imagine a xylophone humping a coffee pot, and grandly operatic surges of synth.
It's funny because I do think Radiohead has some of the most interestingly written songs
For
maybe ever.
sure.
Yeah, so
For sure.
it makes total. The second you said it, I was like, oh my god, I hear it. Like in the layers.
It brings me back to the conversation we had with Mark Mancina, which if you haven't listened to that episode, check it out. He's amazing. It was such a great episode. Really, really great conversation with him. But Radiohead is not a prog rock band, but they are a rather experimental and progressive lowercase p rock band. And I just do think it's interesting that musicians of that ilk then turn out to be really amazing film composers.
There's like some creativity in it that I think is really, it lends itself to writing for the story of films.
Yes, I think so too. And I thought that the score for this movie really helped a lot of the pacing because it's so long.
Agree. Yeah.
And the pacing, obviously, it was edited very, very well, written very, very well. But I think the score helped.
Yeah, it was very driving. Oh, yeah. It and it added to the comedy in a weird way, too.
Totally. The scene that comes to mind for me is the rooftop running scene.
Leo, no. I
couldn't make the jump, man.
I love that they showed those guys just like absolutely parkouring the shit out of those roofs, and he's just like cannot keep up in his robe and ridiculous sunglasses. I freaking love that.
Oh, well, okay, let's talk costumes. We already talked about the Lacoste. The Lacoste on the Christmas Adventurers.
Yeah.
But what did you think of Leo's character being in his bathrobe the whole time?
Incredible. Like, I really love when characters have those sort of recognizable, like if someone were to dress up as this for Halloween, you would know who it is.
Yes.
I love that. I think it's really creative and it's a really fun characterization tool. Um,
Hmm.
and I thought it was hysterical. Like, it felt like he really was just like jolted out of this like laziness and
Yeah,
had
like
to do
very fish out
something.
of water.
Yes.
Hmm.
Um, I love the juxtaposition that like Benicio del Toro is so put together, like
But
calm
Benicio del Toro is wearing his
sensei.
key underneath
Yeah,
his
yeah.
martial arts garb
That's
the whole
true,
movie.
but it's so much more clean cut and like you know.
Purposeful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um
and I remember thinking like Bob could take his bathrobe off. He'd probably get around a bit better if he lost it, but I was really glad that he didn't because it
me
kept it this
too.
sort of like almost cartoonish
Yes.
uh characterization that I really enjoyed.
Yeah, there's a great interview with Leo and Paul Thomas Anderson, and they're talking about that choice of his outfit, and he was like, I just realized it's like his Superman cape, like I can't take it off. And then Paul Thomas Anderson was saying that I think Leo um took a selfie when he was at the eye doctor with the eye doctor glasses, and he was like, that's incredible, we're gonna do that. And that's why they look like that, like when you get out of the eye doctor.
Oh my gosh.
Um, I think that his choice of having that really recognizable outfit the entire movie is hysterical. In fact, I liked the costuming in general. I thought Willa's costume was
Yeah, her
actually really
dance
cool
outfit.
and like a great juxtaposition of kind of like feminine and strong or like feminine and badass. Um and it felt young and like she was growing into an older like adult too, so it felt like it placed her in this really specific like age, and
Yes.
um I
It
thought
placed her
that
in a
was
very
great.
specific age, but it kind of placed her out of time.
Right.
Because
Right.
I was trying to figure out, is the dance 50s themed? One girl is at the dance in a poodle skirt
I know.
and like a grease outfit.
Yeah.
And I was like, is there a theme to the dance? And then I realized they're all wearing wildly different things.
Hmm.
But she's wearing
Yeah.
a kind of greaser top. She's wearing like a white t-shirt and a leather jacket and then this like beautiful like petticoat
Hmm.
underneath. And it makes it not it does weirdly make it kind of timeless.
Yes, and it's kind of badass. Like it's
Totally badass.
badass to be in
Yeah.
a tulle skirt and like getting away from your assassins. I love.
And everything that Teyana Taylor wore.
I mean, what put her in anything? It's
What must it
crazy.
be like
I
to look
like
like that?
good for you, Tiana. She's perfect. Yeah,
She's
I have
perfect.
no words.
And she's that good of an actress. It's crazy.
No, it's like not fair. No, it is. She's probably worked very hard to be where she is, but I love her.
She's amazing.
Yeah, I think the costuming in general was great. It wasn't distracting, but it was practical. It made sense what people were wearing, but it was funny.
Yep. Everything that Colonel Lockjaw wore
Yes.
I mean, it is wild how, and again, I don't mean this to disparage individual military members or anything like that, but their little outfits do look kind of stupid.
Oh, no, I disagree.
When he gets his Medal of Honor, it reminded me of like a little boy getting dressed up for like First Communion or something.
Well,
like, it's
okay.
there's something so toddlerish about it.
I think it's the way that he's playing it though, because
Well, that's true. He also has very specific body language.
his movement work in this is so smart. He walks like he genuinely has a stick up his ass, which is like
he walks
hilarious.
like he has a stick up his ass. Yes, or a full diaper.
Yes, yes. And
you get the impression that it's
love
because his body hurts, but it also could be that he's constantly flexing to look flexy.
Yes.
Like fascinating.
I think, I mean, shocker, Sean Penn's a good actor. Oscar winner Sean Penn's a good actor.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Nobody says that.
I really admire his work in this. I really, really love every choice he made. It felt so deliberate. His facial tics, like what he was doing with his mouth and his jaw, was so particular. It felt so lived in. What we were saying, his gait, his walk, like it was so specific. Everything was so
Yeah.
specific and recognizable. And I just love what he did with that character. When he was doing the DNA test,
Oh, I was like this. I
me
was
too.
so scared. The tension of that scene. And Leo, there's plenty to criticize Leonardo DiCaprio about
That's
as a
true.
viewer and an enjoyer of pop culture.
That is true.
His performance I also thought was really great.
I thought this was one of his best.
I
I
agree.
he was incredible. I love when he is allowed to just play and make big choices and
Mhm.
live in the world. And it felt like it was and this is total guessing on my part, but it really felt like they just let the camera roll
Yeah.
for some portions. Um, and I think that's his best work. I think he does so well with that. Um,
Yeah, I think so too.
yeah.
Did you think I wondered if he was making a really specific vocal choice that then got
Yeah.
dropped.
Oh, tell me.
In the scene, I don't know if maybe it's just because his character was focusing, but towards the beginning, there's a scene where he's talking to Perfidia
Yes.
about
Uh-huh.
like how to build the bombs, and
Yeah, and
she's
then
getting
they
all turned
bangity
on.
bangity.
Yeah. And he was doing something really specific with his mouth. And he loves a mouth choice. He loves
He
a mouth
does.
choice. This is a Leo DiCaprio thing.
Yes.
He loves doing character work with his mouth.
He is
Oh,
good
what
at
was
it.
that movie he did where he did it all like this? Oh, it was the Scorsese movie.
Yeah.
Flower
Killers
Moon,
of the
Killers
Flower
of the
Moon.
Flower Moon.
Loved that also, yeah.
He gave his character an underbite in that.
He
He
loves.
loves
You're
a
right.
mouthy choice, and I was like, oh, he's doing another one in this because he sort of had this sort of really rigid lip thing, and then it went away. But
I
maybe it's
think
because his character was concentrating really hard.
he did that throughout, but I think it was like he was freaking out then and yelling, and then it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
as prevalent for the
And
most.
15 years had passed, so
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wow, I'll never unsee that now. He is a mouth actor.
He is a mouth actor.
Um, yeah, that's funny. I think yeah, this is like my favorite thing I've seen him in a minute, I would say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say is your biggest takeaway from this film? Like as a viewer
That's a great
and as a
question.
film bro, what do you walk away with?
That's a great question because I genuinely, in terms of what I was supposed to take away, I left sort of confused. And I
Mm.
felt this sense of like open-endedness, which was on purpose, definitely. Um, I think in general, I took away that it will always be an ongoing battle. These
Mm-hmm.
sorts of standing up for what's right and fighting um, bigotry in life will always be an ongoing battle that generations will have to learn about and then be activated and participate in some way. But maybe there's a way we can learn from the type of participation that didn't work as well, and the younger generation can take on
Mm-hmm.
that battle in a smarter way and in a place of even better understanding. So that's kind of what I left feeling. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's this sense of like it will always be a battle, but trust in the younger generation. Like trust that they'll be able to continue in a positive way, that they can do better than what we did. That's kind of what I took away.
Yeah. I actually completely agree with you. I think the the name of the film, One Battle After Another,
Mm-hmm.
does it can feel futile or nihilistic at points,
Yeah.
but just accepting the reality that it's never going to be done, the work is never going to be done, is important. And just like the way that it ended with Willa kind of stepping into her mother's and her grandmother's and her great grandmother's shoes as a revolutionary, and
Mm-hmm.
going off to help people 3 hours away, and protest or participate in some way,
Mm-hmm.
with the needle drop of Tom Petty's American Girl, I thought
I
was very, very
That was cool.
Actually almost like an uplifting call to action of like, it is actually your American civic duty to be involved and stick your neck out for other people.
Yeah, I got the same thing out of that needle drop, which is this is a kind of American experience for young people. And like how you go about it is up to you in a way.
Yeah. And patriotism does not mean blind loyalty to your country. Patriotism means doing everything you can to make it as good as possible and as safe for everyone as possible.
Yeah.
And that Americans don't look like the fucking Christmas club. Americans look like everybody.
Yeah.
And especially like Willa.
Yeah. And actually, maybe even a bigger takeaway for me, even though it felt like not subtle in the movie, but it wasn't hitting you over the head with it, was that immigrants are the backbone of this country. Like that really was the main. I was like that long kind of sequence where we're seeing all of these I think probably all Mexican people throughout this town and how they're like essential to it functioning. They are in the store, they're helping the community in every possible way. They are like the reason that it's running, but they are the ones that are both being hunted down.
Yeah.
And they're the ones that are able with calm and like, we do this every day, let's do it, like help each other and do what's right and make their lives harder in order to help their community. Like that was the most powerful piece to me, is like, yeah, look at what is being chased away is like these great people that are hard working and have great families and have roots here. And that was a big piece of it too, that I really appreciated the way that it was shown. Yeah.
It was a very anti-immigration film.
Yes.
Pro immigration, but
Yeah.
like specifically anti-immigration.
Yeah.
And I think it's really summed up in the way that Tim, the guy from the Christmas Adventures, when he finds out that the chicken restaurant, which is not a heroin front, you fucking idiots, gets raided. He's like, I love their nuggets.
You piece
that sums it up. That sums it up. They want to
Chick-fil-A
benefit from these people without giving them any respect or dignity or humanity or safety.
Exactly. Like
that sums it up.
Yeah. I think that there was something really powerful in the idea that Leonardo DiCaprio, when he has this issue, is like unwell and unable to function. And for them, they're like, we do it every day.
They're like, can you get it together?
You like pull it together. And they literally like effectively in 5 minutes are able to mobilize like 50 people. And he's like,
they rescue like 50 people.
And he just falls off the top of a building. Like, that's funny.
And they don't do it with a fireworks show.
Right. It's very quiet. Yeah. So that, like, if nothing else, I think that was a really positive. It didn't. I think it presented that idea to people that might feel differently in a way that was very kind and not like you're stupid, which I don't think is helpful. I think it presented it as you may be overlooking the fact that these are people that add to your community significantly. and also safe,
are the people that you find yourself listening to and liking, are they members of the Christmas Adventurers? Because if so, that's silly.
What?
Like, see the absurdity. It's encouraging people to see the absurdity.
Yeah,
that's very silly. Like,
totally.
These little toddler boys in their Lacoste. Come on, let's laugh at them.
The Lacoste is so crazy. I love it.
I can't get over it. It was my favorite thing.
I was like, oh.
Like, not the alligator. No. Also, alligator Alcatraz. I was like, I wonder if this was made when that was. Well, it would have been beforehand, before that name was popularized.
Yes.
But very interesting parallel.
Yeah. But yeah, it's funny. It is one of those movies, the more I talk about it, the more I like it, which I find with Paul Thomas Anderson movies a lot, actually.
Well, I'll just have to find out. What do you think the
Yes.
next Paul Thomas Anderson movie I watch should be?
Oh my gosh, what a question out. Not Licorice Pizza. I do not anticipate that you will like Licorice Pizza.
I knew already I wasn't going to like it, and that's why I didn't watch it.
Yep. Yeah. It's not.
I knew it wasn't going to be for me.
No. I would say Phantom Thread's something that you have to lead up to. You have to like really get into the Paul Thomas Anderson sphere, and then you can enjoy Phantom Thread, because it's long and dragging, but it's, if you want to watch actors friggin' act, that's what you watch. Like it is acting, capital A, but it's so slow. It's so ridiculously slow. I think
should I maybe start with Boogie Nights?
Yeah, I think that's the easiest intro. I mean, it's a Paul Thomas Anderson movie, but yes. I think Boogie Nights, Magnolia is my personal favorite, but it is long. And then There Will Be Blood. I think I need a rewatch of There Will Be Blood, because when I first watched it, I was like, I don't get the hype, but I think I wasn't in the right mindset or something, because it was brilliant. But it's,
maybe we should cover it on the pod.
Let's do it. It is a slog.
Guys, should we cover There Will Be Blood?
You should also watch The Master and then cry a little bit.
Okay, I love crying.
Inherent Vice was just okay.
I remember that vaguely. Yeah.
But anyway.
Oh, and shout out to Alana Haim, who was in Licorice Pizza and then showed up in this movie as well.
He loves her. Like he loves her acting.
Definitely.
Yeah. Oh my God. I also shook that he's married to Maya Rudolph. I had no idea.
I didn't know that until very recently.
Yeah.
What a power couple.
Yeah, power couple.
Maya Rudolph, one of the most talented people who has ever lived on the planet.
Makes me think he's a good dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if Maya Rudolph approves of him, then my instincts are that. Yeah, I trust her opinion.
Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah. But yeah, that's one battle after another.
There it is, guys. Go listen to Dirty Work. It's a great song. It features heavily in this movie.
Dirty work. Oh yeah. I love that song.
Great song. Listen to American Girl by Tom Petty and listen to the score of this movie. It's very, very good.
Yeah.
And join us back here over on the Patreon on Thursday, because we're gonna do another episode. This season was a little funky with scheduling and stuff.
Yes.
So I apologize sincerely for not having an episode for you last week, Patreoners. But yeah, this week we will have another discussion episode. There's a lot to talk about. Nicole Kidman and Carl Urban are getting a divorce. I'm not Carl Urban.
Are you good?
That's who should date next. No, Keith Urban. Keith Urban. This is the second time on this podcast I've done that.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
You said
I just
Carl?
said deja vu. Yes, because I'm always thinking about Carl Urban. He's at the forefront of my mind at any given time.
Incredible.
But yeah, Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban are getting a divorce. There's all sorts of stuff happening. So we'll see you over on the Patreon. Okay, so we will see you guys on Thursday. And in the meantime, go, support immigrant businesses and sign petitions, go to protests, tell ICE to not come to your neighborhood, support your community, uplift financially and verbally organizations that are already in place by amazing revolutionaries.
That's right.
Largely immigrant-led, people of color-led. Uplift those voices. And we'll see you guys later. Goodbye.
I'm so excited for you guys to see this movie and talk to us about it.
Go to the movies, baby.